Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today as we take an inside look at the city of New Ulm and the resources that are here for those folks looking to maybe start a business. We're calling it the entrepreneurial ecosystem, and today we have 3 guests who have taken advantage of just that. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Lisa County with the Small Business Development Center, and joining me is Aaron Bodie, who is a New Ulm native, born and raised here, and also I'm going to call you a serial entrepreneur. You have so much going on.
Yeah, I do, yeah.
So first of all, let's talk about the 2 businesses that we all know that you have, and then we're going to talk about something special you have coming up in the future.
Yeah, awesome, okay. So I have Sip It Coffee and Bagels, and then I have the Retz 227. The Retz is the oldest of the 2, being about 4.5 years old. And the Sip It is about 2.5 roughly. So I tried to stagger them with 2 years in between.
Okay, so let's start with the Retz. So it's a really cool concept.
Yeah.
So let's talk about what that is.
So it's strictly hard cocktails. It was the whole idea. We didn't want pop, we didn't want mixers, and if we do incorporate mixers, we make them in-house. So it's supposed to be this kind of organic, like super fun, try something you've never had before. And yeah, it turned out really well.
And sort of a speakeasy.
It is,
kind
yeah.
of vibe, right?
We wanted a speakeasy vibe, but still to be like very welcoming. Yeah.
Okay. Well, going on 4 years strong, so it must have been a good welcome concept.
Yeah, it worked out. It was pretty fun. Yeah.
Okay. So then you did sort of a opposite with doing some coffee and bagels now with Sip It.
Yes. Yeah, I got the idea. I visited Manhattan and actually found this bagel company with my brother. We decided to bring them in, so we're actually serving bagels straight from Long Island, New York. So yeah, and that's where the idea came from. And we got coffee over out of Wisconsin with Collectivo, and we have a ton of Wisconsin people here at the college, so they kind of followed suit. It was really fun.
Oh yeah, that's really cool. So before we talk about kind of a big reveal, I'm going to say, tease it a little bit, but let's talk about, I called you a serial entrepreneur, and let's talk about New Ulm and what an environment it is here to encourage people like yourself.
It is awesome. Possibilities are endless. If you find the right group of people, which they're there, they'll kind of help you along the whole way. And that being, a different bank or contractors or anything, you just find a group and they're like, hey, yeah, that idea is fantastic. And they let you run with it. And you can find buildings anywhere right now, which isn't a bad thing. It's fantastic. There's plenty of opportunity for more people.
And what should the first step be? Like, do you contact the chamber?
You can contact the chamber. That would be the best step. Michael is fantastic there. I would go to him first, and then after that, honestly, just go into businesses and start talking to people, or start talking to people on the street. What do you see? What do you hear? What do we need? That kind of thing. Unless you have something in mind, then just start window shopping for spaces. Yeah.
And what has been sort of the secret to because you have 2 successful small businesses now. What's kind of the key to that, do you think?
Somebody taught my brother and I a very long time ago that you don't need to hit a home run. Hit a single or a double. And if you don't, aim for just complete success, just a little bit, it'll work out. So that's what we've been going for, is just bring something small and then bring a bunch of different things in with it. So, yeah.
Because I think it's hard for people to get through that mindset. Even myself, I have great ideas every day, but to take those ideas and actually have the nerve, I guess, to take the risk to pursue it is pretty special.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah. So, so let's talk a little bit about, again, because what I'm trying to get here through this show is New Ulm's entrepreneur ecosystem. So would you say that's alive and well here?
Oh, it is. Yeah, very much so. More than you think. Get on Instagram, get on Facebook. I'm not a huge Instagrammer. I'm terrible with social media. But I have people that have showed me. There's so many people in New Ulm that are doing craft things, that are entrepreneurs. It's incredible. And especially in the past 2 years, it's fantastic. Yeah.
So you're probably not busy enough with 2 businesses. So you thought, why not try something else? So let's talk about what you have coming up.
So what we have is we're actually collapsing the Retz. So the Retz will cease to exist, and it's going to get moved to the old Ben Franklin building. It was Ben Franklin for, oh goodness, how many years? It's been closed for 10, 12, 15 years. And my brother purchased it, and we're actually going to move it to the 2nd story and become the first rooftop patio. So it'll be fun. We'll still have a speakeasy, but we'll have a restaurant and a whole patio included. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so how do you
really
test
fun.
these ideas? You just kind of have your ear to the ground and know people are ready for this? Or?
Things like that, or you just kind of jump. You're like, I think we're ready for it. Yeah.
So when you were a little tot growing up in New Ulm, did you ever think you would be leading the entrepreneurial charge?
I don't know if I'm leading it, but to be a part of it, no, I never thought I would be. But it's fantastic once you're in it. You're like, oh, this is really fun. Yeah.
Okay. Where can folks go to find more information about any of your businesses?
You can go to our Sip It Coffee website. You can go to the Rets 227 website. Our Instagram is huge. We're always pumping out all these things, and we started kind of relaying what we're doing with the Ben Franklin building, and we're going to start pushing more things about that to get people in there, because there is a wedding venue that's going in the main level, and it's going to be awesome. Yeah.
Just another sign that New Ulm is growing.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, Aaron, for joining us today.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you for watching. Hello everyone, I'm Lisa County with the Small Business Development Center, continuing my quest to unearth the entrepreneurs of New Ulm, and I found a good one here. We have Leah Treelevin joining us today. Leah, you're a teacher by education and trade, but you've recently delved into something new, so let's talk about that.
Yeah, so last year when we were all staying at home, I was teaching from home, and when others find themselves in the kitchen baking, I was drawn to do something creative as well. But I love the world of cocktails. So I started to craft a way to make complicated, sophisticated cocktails easy. And that's how Sweet Haven Tonics was born. And yeah, it's been a really wild journey.
Now, it's one thing to be messing around in your kitchen making these cocktails, but to actually make it into a business plan. Talk about that process.
I would say it was really just one step at a time. I had no idea. I still really don't have any idea what I'm doing. But every step of the way, I just take one more step. And it seems that, especially in a community like New Ulm, there's always someone there to meet you at that next step to guide you to the next step. So I started to make them as Christmas gifts for my family, and they said, you should sell these. So Heather Hammer at Ada Zinnia, who is wonderful and has been a mentor to me, said, well, I'm doing a pop-up shop. Would you like to sell them at this pop-up shop? So I was selling them at the pop-up shop, and she said, well, then, look into getting a manufacturer's license. And Mike Esser from Liquor Mart came and saw me there and said, when you need a distributor, let me know. So there's just been so many other small business owners who are so eager to help someone like myself.
Yeah, it's amazing, isn't it? And that's what this show is about, is the entrepreneurial ecosystem that is developing here in New Ulm. And what you're describing is just that.
Yeah.
There's no jealousy. It's all helping.
Yeah, there's not a competitive nature at all. Just how can I take what I'm doing and support what you're doing, or take the group of people that I know and get you connected with those that you need to know.
That's good.
So it's been wonderful.
Yeah. And what would you say to someone who's like you at home right now, and they have these great ideas in the back of their mind, but they're just not sure what to do, or maybe they're a little scared to take the next step?
I would just say take the next step. It's just one step. And after you take that one step, you will either find out that, like I've had to do, take a couple steps backward, redirect yourself, and then take another step forward. The New Ulm Chamber of Commerce has been wonderful too. I went in and I just said, hi, I want to start a business and I don't know how. And they literally took out this packet and were like, here's the packet of how to start a small business in New Ulm. And it takes you through step by step who to call, what resources there are, who can help you, the grants that are available. It's all laid out. So if someone is feeling nervous about taking that step, I would say just do it. It's just one step.
That's so good to hear the support in the community. And how are things going for you?
Wonderful.
Give us an update.
Wonderful. Things are spreading up and out from New Ulm. So we've our business model has just been to continue to edge out from New Ulm. And we've just had some wonderful partnerships. Yeah, my biggest problem is keeping up with demand. So that's a good problem to have.
That's a good problem to have. And where can folks find you to find more out about you?
Here in New Ulm, I'm at Ada Zinnia and Liquor Mart in town. But the best place to go is to my website, www.sweethaventonics.com. And you'll find out about me, all about the products, and you'll also find a listing of all the surrounding areas and where they carry us.
All right, Leah, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you so much.
And thanks to all of you for watching. Hello, I'm Lisa County with the Small Business Development Center, and joining me today is Lindsay Schweiss with MinIce in New Ulm. Lindsay, thanks for being here today.
Yes, thank you.
Now, let's start with the basics. Tell us what MinIce is.
So Minnesota Ice is an ice cream and sweets shop that we opened in downtown New Ulm just a little over a year ago. We opened June 2020.
All right.
So.
And let's talk about your background and what kind of led to you opening Minnesota Ice.
So my background is not business related at all, actually. It is in occupational therapy. However, it's always been a dream of mine to be a business owner myself. What that would look like or what I would do, I didn't necessarily know. But being a member of the New Ulm community, having small kids myself, and loving the downtown area, I just kept having this reoccurring thought and idea that we needed an ice cream shop in our downtown. So after a few years of mulling that over, I finally decided just to go for it.
And this is a fascinating story, how this sort of all came to be. So talk about that, your first phone call to your friends and how that turned out to be what we have now.
Yes, so my business partners are Greg and Bria James. They live in Waconia and own 3 small businesses there themselves, one being an ice cream shop. I have family in Waconia, so just on Facebook, happened to see that they follow the Main Scoop, that's their ice cream shop. So I thought, well, that's exactly what I'd like to bring to New Ulm, or a similar idea. So I reached out to them just on a whim to see if I could pick their brain about this type of business. And they had already purchased a building in New Ulm with the intent of opening a shop after they were approached by the chamber to bring an ice cream shop to town. So it was all very much by chance, but we sat down together and put all our ideas out on the table, and everything really aligned, and we all brought different strengths and ideas. So it just worked out, and we decided to go for it together.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned you don't have a business background, and that's where you really rely on the resources that are here in New Ulm to help get that going. So talk about that.
Definitely. So between the New Ulm Chamber of Commerce and then the EDA, and also we did our banking through Citizens Bank, those 3 places played a huge role in helping us get started, knowing what community resources were available, what grants were available. There's some really great loan programs out there for new businesses. So they really not only helped get us the information and get us started, but get us started really well. Mm-hmm. So.
And what would you say to folks in the community that might be watching this that have that little idea in the back of their head, but they're a little intimidated to take that step into starting up a business? What advice would you have for them?
I would say if you have identified something that would be a need in a community, and that was the case for us, not that ice cream itself is a need, although I think it's a need, but having that type of atmosphere, something for people to go and do and spend time together and share a treat, that was something that I felt strongly we needed in our community, and that really helped me to take that next step. So I think people are just full of really cool ideas, and this is the type of community that really supports that and wants that. I think there's a ton of growth happening in New Ulm with our boutiques and our restaurants, a new event center coming downtown. There's just a lot going on. So I think for anyone who has that idea that keeps kind of popping up in their brain, you don't know unless you try, really. Yeah. And the support is there from the community, from other businesses, and the programs we talked about too. So
yeah, you mentioned that, and the words entrepreneurial ecosystem keep coming up in conversations with the city in the EDA. And would you say that is alive and well here in New Ulm?
I definitely think so. Yes. there's a lot of new things happening in New Ulm, or that have recently happened. I mean, we're fairly recent in town. Shell's just opened up a new tap room. The new event center. There's lots of just fun things happening. So I think for me, if I were thinking of opening a business, this is really kind of an opportune time to find a space, get into New Ulm, utilize some of those resources available, some of those grant programs. You're kind of in this, golden period where things are happening and transitioning. I think it's a great time to get in and start.
Well, thanks, Lindsay, for sharing your story today, and I might go down and have some ice cream
Yeah,
when we're done with
good.
this. All right.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, and thanks to all of you for watching.